continues. Today's game is brought to you by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. By Chevrolet. America is on the move and Chevrolet is supplying the wheels. Chevrolet and you taking charge. By your local McDonald's restaurants, a proud sponsor of the 1984 Olympics. By Highland Appliance, everything you never expected from an appliance store. And by America's largest carpet retailer, New York Carpet World, the better carpet people.
Welcome to the Metrodome in Minnesota. I'm George Kell along with Al Kaline. It's opening day of the baseball season. There's been several games played during the afternoon. The Tigers opening here in just a couple of moments. Everything that happened in Florida, Al, is forgotten, and I know they want to forget a few things that happened down there.
Well, as I mentioned, George, they did not play well in spring training, but nobody was really overly concerned. They went to spring training knowing what kind of team they were expecting to have. They had a little question mark as far as the pitching, but they plugged a couple of holes as far as getting Hernandez in the bullpen. I think the team looks great. I think they're ready to have a big year.
Jack Morris is coming home. Jack Morris lives, you know, in the St. Paul area. He's coming home tonight to pitch this first game of the season against the Minnesota Ball Club. He always pitches well, Al, against Minnesota, and I talked to him before the game, and he said, just another ball game, but I don't believe it.
Don't believe it. Opening day and pitching in front of your home, your folks, all your friends. He has a lifetime record, 11-2, George. He was 2-0 last season. Jack's going to be charged up, and he's going to have to control himself because the tendency when you're charged up to overthrow the ball, but he's always has a lot of confidence going against the Twins.
The big roar that you hear in the background is Hall of Famer Harmon Killebrew, who played for the Minnesota Ball Club for so long, hit over 500 home runs, is on the broadcast crew here in Minnesota now, and he's going to throw out the first ball tonight, and you might imagine, as you might imagine, he got a great reception, and a great guy, Harmon Killebrew.
Oh, absolutely great. One of the great guys ever to play the game of baseball. There's a lot of opening days and a lot of gadgets and hypes for opening day, but you can't beat bringing a Hall of Famer like Harmon Killebrew back where he made all of his great records here at Minnesota.
Al Williams is going to pitch for Minnesota. Al Williams won 11, lost 14 last year for this ball club. He pitched extremely well in spring training. He earned the spot, Jack said. The manager said he earned the right to pitch the opening game, and Al, he throws hard, and he can be tough.
Hard throw. He had a pretty good year. A year ago, 11-14 with a pretty bad ball club. He had a lot of trouble with his shoulders, and he had slight surgery, and they say he's throwing hard. He can throw hard. Quite a story, this guy. He signed with Pittsburgh for a couple years in the minor leagues. He was over in Nicaragua, couldn't get a visa to get out, so he joined the guerrillas over there for about 6 months, and then finally was able to get out of the country and began his pitching career again.
Fought his way out of there. Well, they're going to have a good crowd on hand tonight. They were expecting between 35 and 40,000. It's been a slow-coming crowd. At 6 o'clock, there was hardly anybody in the stadium. Right now, it looks like, Al, they might have 35,000 people.
Well, it's been a big push all winter long because there's the thing hanging over the Minnesota, Minneapolis that they're going to leave here if they don't draw so many people. And I expect them to move out of here whenever there's a stadium built someplace else. But anyhow, they got a pretty good young ball club here. If they can stay with these young people and let them grow a little bit, add 1 or 2 more players, they could be very competitive.
We're going to be right back at Metrodome in Minnesota right after this message.
Here's a batting lineup for the Detroit Tigers. Leading off, playing second base, Lou Whitaker. Batting second, Alan Trammell, shortstop. Batting third, Darrell Evans, the DH. Batting fourth, Lance Parrish, the catcher. Batting fifth, in right field, Kirk Gibson. Batting sixth, Larry Herndon in left field. Batting seventh, Dave Bergman at first base. Batting eighth, Chet Lemon, center field. Batting ninth, playing third base, is Howard Johnson. Defensively, for the Minnesota Twins, Herbeck at first base, Tuffle at second base, Faedo, the shortstop. Gaetti at third base. In the outfield, Hatcher in left field. Eisenreich in center field. And behind the plate, Tim Laudner. The big guy on the mound for Minnesota, Al Williams. We told you the story about him. 11-14 on the year a year ago. He's 1-1 against Detroit in 1983. He's a hard-throwing right-hander. He did very well in spring training. He just had one bad outing. His record down there was 2-2. One bad outing against the Los Angeles Dodgers, where he gave up 7 runs in just 4 innings. But he had arm problems a year ago. But they say he has recovered from that, and you can expect him to be throwing very, very hard to this Detroit Tiger lineup. The Twins' record in spring training was 13-13. They had a .264 team batting average, pretty similar to what the Detroit Tigers had, although Detroit was 11-17 on the year in spring training.
They are tough, Al. They make a lot of runs in this ballpark. They are geared to this ballpark. They have some guys that can reach the fences. It's not that far to the fences here, but they are a much tougher ball club here in Minnesota than they are on the road. Well, we're just about ready to go. Al Williams completes his warm-up tosses. Lou Whitaker steps in, and the first pitch of the 1984 season for the Tigers and the Twins is just about ready to go. And they're still coming in here. There's not a lot of parking around this stadium, and you have to park uptown and sort of walk in here. Here's the first pitch, and it's fouled away. 1 strike to Whitaker, the leadoff man. Whitaker, Trammell, and Darrell Evans will be the first 3 Tiger batters. As Al Williams gets ready on a tap toward the mound. Big hop, and Whitaker is out. Old Williams came right at Lou Whitaker with nothing but hard stuff. He'll bring up Trammell. Just another great spring for both Whitaker and Trammell. Just about what you might expect from these kids.
Trammell did very well in spring training, George. He had a fine spring, 326, 3 RBIs.
He takes a strike. 1 strike to Trammell. The umpire behind the plate is Joe Brinkman. Larry McCoy is at first base, Nick Birmingham at second, and Vic Faltaggio is the umpire at third base. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the first inning, 1 out, nobody on. And a big crowd on hand here at the Metrodome. And a breaking ball. He got it over for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tim Laudner is the Minnesota catcher. You get a good look at him right here. Pitch is low, and it's ball 2 and strike 2. And he struck him out. Nothing fancy about Al Williams. He just comes right at you.
Well, quite a difference from a year ago, George, when he opened here. Tigers jumped off to 6 runs in the first inning opening day. Take a look at the last pitch. Fastball down out of the strike zone. Looked like the ball went down very well.
That's out number 2, and Darrell Evans will be the batter. Darrell is the designated hitter tonight. Dave Bergman is playing first base. And the pitch to Evans. A strike. Whitaker tapped to the mound. Trammell struck out. And Evans takes a pitch outside, makes it 1-1.
George, all spring against Darrell Evans, they were throwing him a lot of off-speed pitches, a lot of slow curveball, straight changeups. He's a good fastball hitter.
ball, 2 strikes. This fellow had a big year with the Giants last year. The 1-2 pitch. Got it over but low, and it's ball 2 and strike 2.
Yeah, pretty fair year, George. 30 home runs, 82 RBIs.
Here's one hit into deep center field. Eisenreich way back, and he's there on the warning track. Evans hit the ball deep into straightaway center field. The Tigers go out 1-2-3. Nothing across. We go to the bottom of the first. No score.
Here's the batting lineup for the Minnesota Twins. Leading off in center field, Jim Eisenreich. Batting second, Tim Tuffle at second base. Batting third, Kent Herbeck, first base. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Tom Berdansky. Batting fifth, Randy Bush, DH. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Gary Gaetti. Batting seventh, Mickey Hatcher in left field. Batting eighth, the catcher, Tim Laudner. Batting ninth, playing shortstop, Len Faedo. Defensively for the Detroit Tigers, around the infield, Bergman at first base, Whitaker at second. Trammell at shortstop, Howard Johnson playing third base. In left field, Herndon. Center field, Lemon and Kirk Gibson in right field. Lance Parrish behind the plate, and Jack Morris, the pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. Jack Morris coming off of an outstanding year a season ago, 20 wins, 13 losses. He's been very successful against the Minnesota Twins, his hometown. 11-2 lifetime, and he's 2-0 in '83. Has won his last 9 decisions against the Minnesota Twins. Jack Morris really came to life, particularly late in the season when he developed the forkball, an off-speed pitch to really help his fastball and hard slider. Big crowd on hand. He was late getting here. The people jammed in the walkways trying to get to their seats. Really a good sight to see here at the Metrodome. Players are so used to playing in front of hardly any people. It's good to see a lot of people in the stands.
And it's a big, noisy crowd, Al. Something we have not seen in Minnesota in a long time. Jim Eisenreich will lead it off. Young center fielder will be followed by Tuffle and then Herbeck. And he bounces it towards first. Easy play for Bergman. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the bottom of the first as Eisenreich bounced it down to Bergman. It'll bring up the young second baseman, Tim Tuffle. T-U-E-F-E-L. They pronounce it Tuffle. He'll be playing until Castellanos gets back in the lineup. Castino, one of the premier players of this ball club, is on the injured list at the moment. Here's a strike on the outside corner. One strike to the young second baseman. And it's strike 2. Strike 2 to Tuffle. Jack Morris is ready, and he struck him out. He got a breaking ball over, and Tuffle strikes out on 3 pitches. So both pitchers going right to the whip here in the first inning. We'll bring up the big first baseman, Kent Herbeck. Herbeck is a native here in the Minnesota area, and a fastball right by him, 1 strike. He said, when I was a kid, I used to sit in the bleachers and watch the Twins play and hope that someday I'd be out on the playing field. Well, he is, and he plays well.
George, he came to spring training and overweight. He put on about 30 pounds in the winter months, and he's had a real battle trying to lose some weight.
Pitch is just inside a bit. Ball 2 and strike 1. Now, he's trimmed down a bit since spring training.
Yes. He's also changed his batting stance since I watched the game over in Orlando, he's not spread out nearly as much as he used to be.
Checks his swing and fouls it away. Makes it a ball 2 and a strike 2 count. We're in the first inning. The Tigers went out 1-2-3. Jack Morris has retired the first 2 Minnesota batters. And it's ball 2 and strike 2 to Hrbek. And a bouncer towards first. Good play by Bergman. Flips over to Morris. He gets them 1-2-3, nothing across, and at the end of 1, Minnesota nothing and the Tigers nothing. Parrish will lead it off for the Tigers. Lance Parrish, followed by Kurt Gibson and then Larry Herndon. Well, they packed them in the National League today. They had 54,000 in San Francisco at Candlestick and 50,000 at Dodger Stadium. And both home teams lost. Here's a drive hit hard to third. Long throw, and Parrish is out. Parrish had a shot at Gaetti. He picked it off on the first hop and made the long throw across the infield. They'll bring up Gibson. Cardinals scored 5 times in the 4th, went on to beat the Dodgers 11-7. And the Cubs beat the Giants at Candlestick. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Fly ball into deep right center field. Eisenreich says he has it, and he does. Gibson hit the ball well into the deep part of the ballpark.
Number 31, Larry Herndon.
So Al Williams has retired 5 batters in a row as Larry Herndon steps in.
He's pitched very well so far, George. He's gotten ahead of all the hitters, and he seems to be able to get a breaking ball over when he wants to.
Here's Herndon, who had a big opening night here last year. 1 strike to Larry. The pitch coming up from Al Williams. Here's one hit into deep right center. On the go, Brunansky, and he hauls it in. Well, the Tigers hit the ball hard, but have nothing to show here in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Minnesota nothing, the Tigers nothing. Here come the Twins in the second inning. They'll be sending up Tom Brunansky, Randy Bush, and Gary Gaetti. Tonight's first trivia call is going to Dowagiac, Michigan. And the trivia question is, which Tiger led off the 1982 season with a single and never had another hit with the team? 1982. That's a tough one.
He was obtained from Atlanta for Roger Weaver in March of 1982.
Well, if you're interested in temperature, outside right now, it's a very pleasant 47 degrees. Inside is 66. It's been a very good day here in Minnesota. The pitch to Brunansky. Ooh, he had a rip at it, fouled it away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Brunansky, a lot of power, 28 home runs a year ago, batted only .227, had 82 RBIs.
They got him from the Dodgers, and the Dodgers didn't want to give up on this big guy. Here's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Brunansky, a low fastball hitter, to try to pitch him hard up or real slow stuff.
And the pitch from Jack Morris. He got him. Got the fastball over the outside corner, and Brunansky caught looking. That's the second strikeout for Morris.
Number 25, the designated hitter, Randy Bush.
Jack Morris puts a little extra on this one. Watch how he falls, but he still makes a perfect pitch on the outside corner. Foot gives away and hits right on the outside corner.
That'll bring up Randy Bush, who is the designated hitter for the Twins. This fella had some big hits against the Tigers last year. Gets this one off the glove of the pitcher. Trammell will make the play. Bush had that one headed for center field. Morris got a glove on it. Just enough to allow Trammell to come over and make the play.
Number 8.
Jack, a good fielding pitcher, although he sometimes falls towards first base, but he's a great athlete, and you can see they're able to recover and deflect the ball. It's a little foul up between Whitaker and Trammell, but Whitaker gets out of the way.
1-6-3. If you're keeping score, you give Jack Morris an assist on the play. There's Gary Gaetti. Gary fouls it back into the crowd.
This fellow probably did as much damage to the Tigers as anybody on the Twins. He batted only 200, but he has 3 home runs and 8 RBIs against the Tigers a year ago, George.
Strong right-handed batter. He has good power. Ooh, he went for a bad pitch and it's strike 2. Jack pulled the string on him and caught him out in front. We're in the second inning, 2 outs, nobody on, no score in the game. There hasn't been a base runner yet. And he struck him out. Gaetti strikes out. Number 3 for Jack Morris. He gets a 1-2-3. And at the end of 2, still no score. There's Dave Bergman to lead it off for the Tigers. Dave is playing at first base tonight. He'll be followed by Chet Lemon and then Howard Johnson. Dave Bergman. He pops it up outside of third. Gaetti near the stands, and it's about 2 rows back in.
Well, Bergman, pretty much a utility player a year ago at San Francisco. Great defensive player, but had a great year pinch hitting, batting at .355, 11 for 31 as a pinch hitter.
It's 1 strike to Bergman, and the pitch is low. You know, he played the same role over in San Francisco last year to Evans as he is likely to play here this year. Evans played first base, and Dave did a lot of pinch hitting and filling in at first base. Here's a pop-up that will be caught by Gaetti. So Bergman is out. 7 batters in a row retired by Williams, and we'll pause right here. 10 seconds for station identification. You're watching Tigers 84. Curtis Gadsden brings you the sound of today's Detroit on the Saturday Night Music Machine. That's Saturday night at 7:30 here on Channel 4. Lemon takes it in tight. We're in the third. 1 out, nobody on. And a pitch over but low makes it ball 2 and no strikes. And Al, I think for the first time tonight, Williams has fallen behind a batter.
First time he missed on 2 breaking pitches. Everybody's a little bit nervous.
And a fastball by makes it 2-1.
Chet Lemon's asking for the baseball. That ball certainly went down right at the very end.
Joe Brinkman looked it over, says it's all right.
Pretty good pitch. Good sinking fastball.
Crowd didn't like that too much when Chet Lemon asked to see the baseball. There's one down the corner in right field. This ball is fair. Extra bases for Lemon. He might go for 3. He will. He makes the turn, and he'll go into third with a triple. A stand-up triple for Chester Lemon. Brunansky had a little trouble getting it out of the fence.
Batting 9th,
Looked like he hits a pretty good pitch. Fastball out over the plate. Chet hitting the ball to right field well. Goes down the right field line. Chet still bothered somewhat by a bad ankle, but shows outstanding speed. You can see the ball bounces against that soft fence and comes straight down. It does not carry him off the fence.
So the batter is Howard Johnson with a runner at third. And he got it. Quick throw to third, and Lemon just did get back. Boy, Loudner showed us a good arm there.
Infield's playing back, all but first base and third. They're giving a run with a ground ball to shortstop and second base.
We'll make it ball 2 to Johnson. Howard is switch batter, and he's batting left-handed against Al Williams. Here's a drive into the corner in right field. This ball is going to be off the fence. Headed for second is Johnson, and he goes in with a double. He just barely missed a home run.
Well, that has to make that young man feel awful good right now. He struggled a year ago, broke his finger, re-broke it again at Evansville, hits a fastball, looked like out of the strike zone, and just misses going out. Howard thought he hit it well enough to be a home run. In fact, he gave a home run trot going from home plate to first base and barely made it to second.
So a triple by Lemon, a double by Johnson. The Tigers take a 1-0 lead. Here's Whitaker, who bounced to the mound his first time up. Pitch is low to Whitaker. Al Williams retired the first 7 batters before Lemon tripled and then Johnson doubled. And a ground ball into left field for a base hit. They're going to wave him in. Going to be close, and he's going to be out. Mickey Hatcher.
Pretty tough call, George, by the third base coach Alex Grammas. Mickey Hatcher, a pretty good outfielder. I don't know whether I'd have sent him in with the number 2 hitter of Alan Trammell, the next batter. But on this AstroTurf, you can see the ball gets there well before the base runner, Howard Johnson. He had to hold up just a little bit at second base. He did not know whether the shortstop was going to make the play and throw to third base.
Whitaker went down to second on the throw, and the batter is Trammell. So if you're keeping score, Johnson is out 7-2. Perfect throw from Mickey Hatcher into Tim Loudner. And a strike. He got a breaking ball over. Makes it 1-1 to Trammell. That's 3 straight hits for the Tigers. This is foul past third base. Well, the Tigers showed signs of scoring in the second inning. Parrish, Gibson, and Herndon all hit the ball hard against Williams. 1 ground ball, 2 fly balls. And here in the third, they have picked up 3 hits, but only 1 run. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Trammell. He struck out his first time up. Good stop by Loudner. It's a little more difficult to score on a base hit to the outfield on the artificial surface. That ball gets out there quickly. Here's one up the middle, a base hit. Whitaker will score. Throw coming into the plate will be cut off, and a base hit by Trammell. 4 hits in a row, and the Tigers lead it 2-0.
Alan Trammell battling with 2 strikes on him. Hits the ball hard up the middle. They play Allen a little bit more, a little deeper than they did Lou Whitaker. You can see the ball going up the infield. Much tougher throw for the center fielder than the left fielder a hitter ago. But they weren't playing Lou Whitaker very deep in the outfield. I thought, which can happen, and Alex Graham has just made a bad judgment call. But Sparky Anderson wants his players to be aggressive. He wants them to think extra base all the time.
Well, Whitaker made a good play. He went down to second on a throw to the plate, which enabled him to score on the base hit by Trammell.
And I think we'll see Alan Trammell probably running an attempted steal here. Laudner, not a very good defensive catcher. He takes a long time getting rid of the ball, and looks like Al Williams has a very deliberate windup.
Pitch is high, and it's ball 2 and no strikes. Evans hit the ball deep into center field his first time up. Eisenreich ran it down. And a strike. Exit ball 2 and strike 1.
Through a breaking ball, 2 balls, no strikes. It shows the respect they have for Darrell Evans.
There goes the runner, and a foul. It's back in the crowd. They had Trammell on the move, and Evans fouled it away. Ball 2 and strike 2 to the big guy. Tigers have 4 straight hits since Bergman fouled out. Here he goes again. Quick throw, and he's going to be out. Bergman put it right on the money, and Alan Trammell is out. Tigers pick up 2 in the inning on 4 hits. Nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, and the Tigers lead it 2-0.
The copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Detroit Baseball Club and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any use or reproduction of this game without the written consent of the Detroit Baseball Club is prohibited. The announcers for these telecasts are selected by the Detroit Baseball Club and WDIV and are compensated by WDIV.
Well, the Tigers lead it 2-0 as Minnesota comes to bat in the 3rd inning. Jack Morris has retired the first 6 batters he's faced. Well, our first trivia call went to Danny Reif out in Dowagiac, Michigan, and there was no answer. So our second call is going to Detroit. Nice round of applause for Mickey Hatcher as he steps in. Mickey prevented a big inning for the Tigers. They got 2, but it could have been more. He lines it into left center. This ball is up the alley, cut off now by Lemon, and a stand-up double for Hatcher. Oh, Morris.
Mickey Hatcher is a hacker at the plate. He just swings at anything they throw. He doesn't have to necessarily swing at strikes. Swings at the very first pitch offered by Jack Morris. Lemon does a great job of cutting the ball off and holding Hatcher to just a 2-base hit.
That's the first base runner for Minnesota. The batter will be the big catcher, Tim Laudner. This fellow has a fabulous minor league record. Takes a pitch outside.
He once hit 40 home runs in Orlando a couple years back.
Runner at second, nobody out. Tigers lead it 2-0. Morris taking a little more time at the moment. Ball 2. He thought that was a strike. He had 42 home runs. You're right, Al. 42 home runs at Orlando in 1981. He hasn't approached that since, nor before. 10's the most he had before that, and he hasn't had even 10 since. Ball 3. They appeal to first base, but Larry McCoy says no swing. So it's ball 3, no strikes to Laudner. This is one hitter that Jack does not want to fall behind on. He likes to pitch ahead of Laudner. He takes a strike. A ball, 3 and a strike 1 count. Runner at second, nobody out, and the pitch. That'll make it 3-2. Just sheer power against power there.
Yeah, Jack doesn't want to walk this hitter. With a 2-run lead, he doesn't want the next hitter to get a chance to sacrifice the 2 runners over.
See the runner at second, Mickey Hatcher. And a foul. We made a good pitch on him. Got it up and in on him, and he just fought it up. Billy Jack Gardner, the manager of the Minnesota Ball Club. Ball 3, strike 2. As we look at the Tigers' 20-game winner in 1983. This one's foul. Well, both pitchers started off just picture perfect. Al Williams retired 7 batters in a row before Lemon tripled. Jack Morris retired the first 6 batters before Mickey Hatcher opened this inning with a double. And he's gone to 3-2 on Tim Laudner. Here's the payoff. Fly ball to center. Lemon backing up. Mickey Hatcher tags at second. Here's the throw to third, but cut off by Trammell, and Hatcher goes in easily. Laudner hit the ball well, extremely well, into straightaway center field.
Body one, number 12, the shortstop, Lenny Faedo.
So the little shortstop, Lenny Faedo, will bat with a runner at third and 1 out. They're going to play about halfway, Al, with a 2-run lead.
Kind of surprising. They don't think this fellow has the type of power to drive the ball through the infield. They think they might have a shot of getting him at the plate.
He checks his swing, and it's 1 ball. Morris is even pitching from the stretch to keep an eye on a sacrifice bunt, the squeeze bunt. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit for Faedo. Little fella drilled it past Trammell into center field.
It's one of the problems, George, of playing the infield in. That ball might have been, Trammell might have been able to catch that one if he had been playing back, but he was playing in about 4 or 5 steps on this AstroTurf. The ball gets through the infield in a hurry. He just misses getting to the ball. You see how far he is up in the infield.
Makes it a 2-1 ball game, and the batter will be Jim Eisenreich. Jim bounced to first base his first time up. Pitch is low, and it's 1 ball to Eisenreich. Tigers 2, Minnesota 1. We're in the 3rd inning. Good shot from our camera in center field. I think he might have been going. Faedo had to hurry to get back.
Minnesota Twins team do not steal very many bases.
And a pitch out. They thought he was running.
Faedo did not steal any bases with the Twins a year ago. Of course, he spent half his time between Orlando and the Twins.
It's ball 2 and no strikes. See the base runner. He's at first with 1 out. Ball 2 and strike 1.
Eisenreich only played in the opening series a year ago against the Detroit Tigers. Had a nervous disorder problem and did not play the rest of the year. Fine looking ball player.
Yeah, they really like him. This is foul ball, barely foul, outside the bag at third.
I saw him play against the Tigers in spring training, and in both games hit the ball very hard.
The count is even at 2-2 to Eisenreich. If they want to run this fellow right here, Faedo, this might be the pitch. Nope. And a foul ball. It's coming back into the seats. Parrish says, thank goodness it's in the crowd. I didn't see it. It's been a very delightful day here in Minnesota. Without the dome, they could have opened today. They could have played this afternoon at the old stadium in Bloomington. Take a look at the roof, and this causes problems on pop flies.
Not so bad at night, but in the daytime it can give you a lot of problems.
He got him. Got the fastball over, and Eisenreich is caught looking. That's the fourth strikeout for Jack Morris.
Jack Morris reaches back and looks like he gets a little extra on that pitch on the inside corner. Eisenreich looked like he might have been looking at an off-speed pitch.
So there's 2 outs, and the batter will be Tim Tuffle. Tuffle struck out his first time up. 1 ball, no strikes. A double by Hatcher, a single by the shortstop Faedo, and the Twins have picked up a run.
They really like this fellow. In fact, they moved John Castino from second base to third because of this fella. Georgie had 27 home runs and 100 RBIs at Toledo, which is their AAA ball club. It's unusual to see a middle infielder drive in 100 runs. Of course, that's Toledo. That's not major leagues.
But it is baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jack Morris trying to get him out here in the third. He has a 1-run lead. Ground ball to short. Trammell picks it off, and the inning is over. They got a run on 2 hits, strand a man, and at the end of 3, the Tigers 2, Minnesota 1.
Tigers 84 continues, brought to you in part by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. When buying a new car or truck, remember, the advantage belongs to your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, and by J.C. Penney, your official store for Levi's Olympic wear.
Well, it's 2-1. The Tigers in front as we go into the 4th inning, and here's Al Kaline.
Okay, George Kell, thanks very much. Tigers lead at 2-1, both teams scoring their runs in the 3rd inning. Evans, Parrish, Gibson, the scheduled batters for the Detroit Tigers. Evans hit a ball deep in the straightaway center field, just missing getting the ball up against the fence. And Looper in the second base. Tuffle goes back, has no trouble with that one. On the very first pitch, Evans flies to second base.
Well, Al, our second trivia call went to Harry Cussy out in Detroit, Michigan, and he could not answer our trivia question, so our third call is going to St. John's, Michigan. You might repeat the question.
Okay, the question, which Tiger led off the 1982 season with a single and never had another hit with the team? He was traded for Roger Weaver from the Atlanta Braves. He was called one of the fastest men in baseball. His nickname was Fast Eddie.
Oh, nothing has changed. You're still giving the answers away. Nothing's changed. Kaline's still giving the answers away. Sent him to Evansville on June the 7th. He was 0 for May.
Sparky Anderson had to have him.
Sparky liked him, I'll say that.
2 balls, 1 strike on Lance Parrish. There's 1 out here in the 4th inning. In fact, I think he got caught stealing 3 times on 3 attempts. Lance Parrish swings and misses on a fastball. Good pitch by this big fella. Al Williams a year ago, 11 and 14, a 4.8, 14 earned run average. Lance fights off a pretty good breaking ball, fouls it to the right field seats.
They got your name up on the Fanagram out there. It's a long ways from here. You gotta have good eyes to read it.
Mine, you have yours up there too.
Well, Ernie Harwell, Paul Carey.
Lance Parrish fouls another one off. Lance hanging tough. Lance trying to duplicate the year he had in 1983, 269, 27 home runs, 114 RBIs, had 42 two-base hits. Pitch down low. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, here's your Fanagram now. And we appreciate it from the good people in Minnesota.
A lot of Tiger fans here. One fan that's not here is Tom Monahan. Lance Parrish swings and misses. That's the second strikeout by Big Al Williams. Tom Monahan was to be here. The owner of the Tigers was to be here tonight with a large group of his Domino's Pizza people. But I understand Tom's sick, and we sure wish him the best.
Opening night with his ball club, and he gets sick. Tom was going to be here.
Kirk Gibson 0 for 1 tonight. He also hit a ball deep in the center field his first time at bat. Takes a pitch down low. 2-0 on Kirk. Gibby was rifling him in the upper deck in right field here at the Metrodome. Ball 3 too high. He might have the hit sign here.
I think so, Al. I think so. Ball 3, no strikes in this ballpark. He probably had it. He just didn't swing.
Kurt likes the ball belt down. He doesn't like the ball up around the leathers. Right there. And he missed it. Fouled it off.
Ted Williams had a great theory about hitting. Look for one certain pitch, and when you get it, don't take it, don't miss it, and don't foul it off.
Don't foul it off. Hit it hard someplace. Gibby hits a ground ball to second base. Tuffle up with it. So Al Williams has a 1-2-3 inning here in the 4th inning. The Tigers still lead it 2-1. Well, here come the Twins in the bottom of the 4th inning. As you take a look at some of the fans, that's the left field foul line. Pretty good crowd out there. Not too many people in the upper deck, particularly out in center field. But on a whole, this is a pretty good crowd for the Metrodome here in Minnesota. I would imagine there's close to 30,000. The Metrodome holds, I believe, 55,122 to be exact. Kent Hrbek, the leadoff batter for the Twins here in the 4th inning, takes a pitch over for a strike. Hrbek, Bernansky, and Bush, the scheduled batters for the Twins. Good pitch by Morris, a fork ball on the outside corner. Hrbek batted .297, 16 home runs, 84 RBIs a year ago. Did not have the home run production as he had back in 1982. Shot hit to Lou Whitaker at second base. Lou up with it and makes the throw to first base. So 1 up and 1 away here in the 4th inning. Tom Bernansky, the batter.
The right fielder, Tom Bernansky.
Jack has struck out 4 tonight, Al, and he's allowed only 2 hits, but both in 1 inning, and gave up a run.
Well, both hits were given up to hitters that hit the ball to all fields. Jack has a lot more success. A long fly ball hit the right field, down the right field line that just curved foul. Looked like it might have had the distance. Jack Morris would have much more success against hard swinging batters than he will fellows that hit the ball to all fields, because they'll stay on his off-speed pitch a lot longer than the big home run hitters like Bernansky. Bernansky likes the fastball and has trouble with off-speed pitches. Pitch down low. 1-1 on Tom Bernansky. He batted only .205 against the Tigers a year ago. 39 times at bat. He had 8 hits, no home runs, and 2 RBIs. Swings and misses on a good pitch by Jack Morris.
That was an off-speed pitch, and he's going to get some off-speed pitches from Jack. He's going to show him the fastball, but that's about it.
It's down low, evens the count now at 2-2. Tigers 2 runs on 4 hits. The Twins 1 run on 2 hits. They play Bernansky to pull deep on the infield. Swings and misses on a good pitch by Jack Morris. A hard fastball that was down low on the outside corner. 5th strikeout for Jack Morris. That's always a good sign when Jack's striking a lot of batters out.
Well, our 3rd trivia call, Al, went to Jeff Price at St. John's, Michigan, and he could not answer our trivia question, so our 4th call is going to our good friends in Flint.
You mean they couldn't guess Fast Eddie?
Until you gave the clue, I didn't have it. Until you gave the answer.
Randy Bush swings and misses on the first pitch.
All I can say for Jeff Price of St. John's, Michigan, he was in the kitchen getting a sandwich or something when you gave the answer.
Off-speed pitch down low by Jack. Randy Bush batting .249 a year ago. 11 home runs, 56 RBIs. Batted only .217 against the Tigers. 46 at bat, 10 hits, no home runs, and 4 RBIs. Good pitch by Jack. Breaking ball over the plate. Minnesota Twins officials think this fellow has one of the classic swings of all times. They call him the sweet swinger. Swings and misses, and Jack Morris strikes out. 2 here in the 4th inning. That's the number 6 for Jack. The Tigers lead it 2-1. Here come the Tigers in the 5th inning. Larry Herndon, Dave Bergman, Chet Lemon. Tigers have 4 hits and 2 runs. All hits and runs came in the 3rd inning. They hit Williams hard in the 2nd and 3rd inning, but did not do anything with him in the 4th. Herndon hits the ball, breaks his bat. Gaetti up with it. Long throw to first base. Herndon out. The barrel of the bat went further than the ball. Gaetti, the shortstop, relays the bat over to Alex Grammas.
We'll take another look at it. You can see the bat broke right half in 2, and you don't see it here, but it sailed right under the legs of the shortstop. I still think they're going to go to aluminum bats someday.
Dave Bergman, he fouled out to third base his first time at bat in the 3rd inning. He pops it up at first base. Herbeck calls for it in foul territory and makes the putout. So 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th inning for the Tigers.
Al, you see what wonderful scheduling we finally have in the major leagues. We've said this for years on the telecast, but look at the games on the West Coast. San Diego's playing at home, the Dodgers at home, the Giants at home. The Dodgers played at home. California played at home last night. 3 games in the domes. The one here, one in Houston, one in Seattle tomorrow night. Oakland's playing at home.
Only makes sense. The weather
it makes sense.
Should be a lot better in those places. Chet Lemon scored the first Tiger run with a 3-base hit in the 3rd inning. 1-1 on Chester, 2 outs. Oh, what a year this fella had. 24 home runs and played center field like you've never seen it played before. Long fly ball hit into left field. Mickey Hatcher calls for it. Goes back a little bit and then makes the out. So the Tigers go down 1-2-3 here in the 5th inning. They lead the Twins 2-1. Well, here come the Twins in the bottom of the 5th inning. Gary Gaetti, Mickey Hatcher, Tim Laudner, the batters for the Twins. Gaetti batted .245 a year ago, 21 home runs, 78 RBIs. He batted only .200 against the Tigers, but he had 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. Likes the ball inside, good fastball hitter. Pitch outside by Jack Morris. They had Gaetti playing in left field through most of spring training, but third baseman John Casino came up with a bad back, and they had to move Gaetti back. A ball hit hard in the left center field. Short hops the fence. Harry Herndon comes up with it. Gaetti goes in with a stand-up double. So 2 extra base hits given up by Jack Morris, a double to Mickey Hatcher in the 3rd, and now a double by Gary Gaetti.
Yeah, he hits this ball hard, extremely hard into the alley and left center. And you can see one hop off the fence and a stand-up double for Gaetti.
They have a lot of trouble with this AstroTurf here. It's very lively, and the ball bounces into the stands a lot of times. You see Hatcher going after the first pitch to move the base runner to 3rd. That's the type of hitter that Hatcher is. He will swing at anything close to the plate.
Hey, looks like we got a winner. Edward Beland of Flint, Michigan, answered the question, which Tiger led off the 1982 season with a single and never had another hit with the team. And the answer is Ed Miller.
Fast Eddie Miller.
And the winner is Ed Beland of Flint, Michigan.
Tying run on third base, 1 out. Tim Laudner, the batter. Hit a ball deep in center field back in the 3rd inning. Jack Morris would like to strike this hitter out.
Don't forget now, we're going to have another trivia question for you on our next pregame show. That'll be this Sunday in Chicago.
Pitch on the outside corner, so Jack Morris quickly ahead of the big catcher, Tim Laudner. Man on third base, just 1 out, tying run on third base. Minnesota 1 run on 3 hits. The Tigers 2 runs on 4 hits. Bottom of the 5th inning. Swings and misses. Jack Morris just went to the whip and threw the fastball by Laudner. Number 7 for Jack Morris.
Yeah. A big strikeout for Morris as he gets his 7th strikeout. We'll look at it again. Like he swung right through it. 7 strikeouts for Morris.
Gaetti, the fine young shortstop for the Twins, driven in the only run so far tonight. Base hit in the 3rd inning. Infield playing back this time. 2 outs, man on third base. Ball hit to right field. Gibson comes in and makes the putout. Jack Morris, a good piece of hitting. Tigers still lead the Twins as we go into the 6th inning, 2-1.
There's the little skipper, Sparky Anderson, looking on. His ball club in front by 1 run as the Tigers come to bat in the 6th inning. They'll be sending up Howard Johnson, who drove in a run with a double back in the 3rd inning. Johnson, Whitaker, and Trammell will be the Tiger batters. Johnson just missed a home run. He hit the ball high off the fence in right field. Drove in Lemon from third base, and he cruised into second with the double. Did he bunt at it? No, says the third base umpire.
That base hit is a big booster for Howard Johnson. He batted only 143 in spring training. Really struggled with the bat.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's inside, ball 2, no strikes. Tigers had 4 straight hits in the third inning, good for 2 runs. The ball 2, no strike pitch is hit deep to right, but it's going to be foul. Oh, he hit this one in the upper deck. Oh, awesome.
I've never seen Howard Johnson hit a ball further than that one.
But it was about 20 feet foul. Might be the last fastball he will see tonight. He changed up on him and missed outside, makes it ball 3 and strike 1.
Johnny Padres, the pitching coach of the Twins, looked like he's taught this guy a pretty good changeup.
Ground ball to first. Flips over to Al Williams, and Johnson is out. So there's 1 away in the 6th, and the batter will be Lou Whitaker. Lou tapped to the mound in the first inning, then he singled to left and scored a run in the 3rd. Tigers got 2 in the 3rd. Minnesota got 1. That's been the scoring. Pitch is over, but low. And a ball. Makes it ball 2, no strikes. You could see Joe Brinkman. He almost pulled the trigger, then he held it. Ball 3. 3-0 to Whitaker. Cleveland got 6 runs in the 2nd inning, and they lead Texas 6-0. Sutcliffe and Huff, the pitchers. There's a ball. Whitaker walks on 4 straight pitches. That is the first walk of the ball game. Gives you some idea of the control these 2 fellows have had tonight.
There was some balls hit hard and deep in this game, but the pitchers have demonstrated a lot of control tonight so far.
Little conference at the mound, and I would imagine that Loudner's telling Williams, hold him close now. They like to run in this spot.
Lou Whitaker stole 17 bases. He was thrown out 10 times. Alan Trammell led the Tigers in stolen bases with 30.
One strike to Trammell. Whitaker's at first with 1 out. We're in the 6th inning. The Tigers 2, Minnesota 1. In a well-played ball game here on opening night. Makes it 1-1. See Trammell as he looks down to Alex Grammas to see if the hit and run sign might be on. Pitch out. The Twins thought so. Cardinals beat the Dodgers 11-7. Cox the winner. Suter gets a save in that game. Ooh, in tight. Ball 3, strike 1. Well, there can be no pitch out here. And we'll see what happens.
Trammell has great bat control. They're not afraid to run the runners when he's at bat.
He hits it hard into left field. Whitaker makes the turn. He'll go to 3rd, and down to 2nd goes Trammell. He'll go in with a double. Alan Trammell drilled it hard past third into the corner.
I'm kind of surprised that Lou wasn't running on that. He would have scored had he been going, but Trammell hits it just inside the base at third base. Richie Hatcher does a great job in left field getting over there to cut it off.
So the Tigers put him at second and third with one out. And the batter will be Darrell Evans. And they're going to walk him. They're going to walk Evans and pitch to Parrish in this spot.
And they're going to play the percentage. They want to go for the double play, a right-hander against a right-hander. These are tough decisions to make for a manager, but I think one that should be made, even though you have an outstanding player like Lance Parrish coming up.
Well, they've pitched to Parrish twice. He hit a shot at the third baseman his first time up, then he struck out in the fourth inning. But on this artificial surface, they play for the double play ball. Bases loaded with one out, and the Tigers lead by one. Take a look at the base runners. Whitaker is on at third base. Alan Trammell, the runner, at second, and Darrell Evans at first base. And the batter is Parrish. And the big guy's ready. A strike. He threw it fine. The Minnesota bullpen's going to get busy now. Might be Larry Pashnik.
No, it doesn't look like Larry.
Pitch is low, and a good stop by Loudner, who blocked it to save a run.
Oh, it's Pashnik. It is. Used to be Ricky Lysander a year ago, but Pashnik is now wearing number 19.
Larry Pashnik, former Tiger, throwing in the bullpen. One ball, one strike. Bases loaded, one out. And a base hit into center field. That'll get 2 runs in. Evans has to hold at second as Parrish upset the strategy with a line single into center. And the Tigers lead it 4-1. Evans had to hold up just for a moment to see that the ball did get by the second baseman. So they're at first and second, and the batter is Gibson. A bases loaded single by Parrish, and the Tigers lead by 3. And a ground ball to first. Herbig picks it off. The throw, nope, not in time to get Gibson. That was a ill-advised throw back to first base with the pitcher covering. Good play by Herbig.
Looks like they got Gibby on the handle of the bat. Herbig got in front of it to block the ball from going through. Lance disrupt the shortstop just enough.
Boy, you see how important, Al, it would have been had Evans been able to go to third on the base hit by Parrish. Would have left the gap there. As it was, Herbig was playing back, and he was able to make the play. They have him at first and third with 2 outs. Larry Herndon has flied to right and bounced to short. And he hits it up the middle off the foot of the pitcher, and it's going to be a base hit for Herndon. That'll drive in a run. He had it headed for center field. It caught Williams on the foot, as you could see, and bounded high in the air.
It looked like it was a base hit all the way, and you can see the follow through by the pitcher Williams. It hits him on the back of the ankle. And just no play for Herbig, the first baseman.
So a single and a run batted in. And the Tigers lead it 5-1. And the batter will be Dave Bergman.
looks like Al, he's going a long way with Al Williams at the moment. He might be tiring a bit.
His longest stint in Florida was 6 innings. He might be getting a little tired.
Here's the pitch to Bergman. It's a ball. Ball 2, no strikes.
Bergman's been having trouble with Williams. Both times he's fouled out, and both times he was hit on the handle of the bat.
He's waiting on the 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. It looks like Williams has lost his rhythm at the moment. Ball 3, no strikes. Parrish, the runner at second. Herndon at first with 2 outs. And he pops it up. They turned him loose on the 3-0 pitch, and he pops it up to the catcher. Tigers get 3. 3 runs in the inning. On 3 hits, a couple of walks. They strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Tigers 5, Minnesota 1.
When we close this box, we've made our best.
Tigers 84 continues, brought to you in part by Ballpark Franks, the hot dogs that plump when you cook them, and Grill Master, the world's most distinguished chicken frank, and by Highland Appliance, everything you never expected from an appliance store.
From northern Michigan tonight, in the North Country at Marquette, and we appreciate the banner. Well, some travel arrangements for the television staff of Tigers 84 are made through Eastern Airlines. That's the official airline of Walt Disney World. Now, for more flights to more of Florida, come fly with Eastern. 5-1, the Tigers lead it as Minnesota comes to bat in the 6th inning. They'll be sending up the top of the batting order: Jim Eisenreich, Tim Tuffle, and Kent Herbeck. We're going to pause right here, 10 seconds for station identification. You're watching Tigers 84. Now the baseball action continues Saturday on Channel 4 when the Tigers take on the White Sox in the NBC Game of the Week. That starts at 1:30. Tigers have 5 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Minnesota 1 run, 3 hits, and they have no errors. Jack Morris has allowed 3 hits. He has struck out 7, and he hasn't walked anybody.
Bowling Twins, the center fielder, Jim Eisenreich.
There's Eisenreich. He bounced out in the 1st inning. He was called out on strikes in the 3rd inning. The first pitch from Jack Morris. It's a strike. That is Joe Brinkman behind the plate, calling the balls and strikes. Larry McCoy is the umpire at first, Nick Bremigan at second, and Vic Valtaggio is the umpire at third base. Larry McCoy was in Arizona this spring. He spent the winter out there, and then he worked the Major League grapefruit season in Arizona. Ball hit about 6 feet in front of the plate. Ball 2 and strike 1. Scottsdale, Arizona, Larry told me he spent the winter. That's not exactly camping out, is it?
Not at all.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Bouncer towards first. Fair ball. Bergman picks it off, and Eisenreich is out. So there's 1 away in the 6th inning. The batter will be Tim Tuffle.
Jack Morris with 7 strikeouts in the game tonight. His high strikeouts is 12, and he had that against the Yankees August 13th of a year ago.
Tuffle has struck out one time tonight. Bounced as short his last time up. And as Al told you, this fella had a big year at Toledo last year. And a strike. Makes it 1-1 to Tuffle. Take a look at the crowd, and a good crowd we have here tonight. Ball 2 and strike 1 to the youngster.
Sometimes, George, when the team gets you a pretty good sized lead, the pitcher loses his concentration. It's a big inning for the Tigers and Jack Morris.
Ball 2, strike 1. And a ball hit hard to left field. A base hit for Tuffle. He drills it past Trammell. And it's hit number 4 for Minnesota.
The first baseman, Kent Hrbek.
Kent Hrbek, big first baseman, has bounced out twice tonight. One ball, no strikes. This fella has awesome power. Make one mistake and he'll find the seats. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball into center. Lemon coming hard. He's got it on the run. Throw back to first. Ooh. Would have been extremely close had Bergman been able to come up with a short hop. Lemon made a good catch and a good throw on the run.
Looked like the ball had possibilities of dropping in, and Lemon makes an outstanding run and actually makes the ball look easy. Long, he had to come a long ways. Throws the ball well to first base, and Lance Parrish hustling over to back up first.
He makes a good throw, but it's on a short hop, as you can see. Looked like Tuffle was back. Pitches inside to Brunansky. And he doesn't want to hang another one there. 1 ball, no strikes. Big Tom Brunansky. That'll make it a ball and a strike. He has been to the plate twice, and he struck out both times. We're in the 6th inning in the Metrodome. Tigers 5, Minnesota 1. And he pops it up on the infield. Bergman waves everybody away. And he gets no argument either on pop flies in this stadium. A man calls for it, he gets it. They fail to score, and at the end of 6, the Tigers 5, Minnesota 1.
It does not make a difference to a veteran player like Darrell Evans. He's been there before, and the adrenaline starts flowing a little bit more opening day in the regular season. Pitch out of the strike zone again.
Yeah, it was out of the strike zone.
And he took it out of the ballpark this time.
Pitch was not only high, but away from him, and he drills it deep into right field. So the Tigers lead it 8-1 as Parrish steps in, and he takes a strike.
This fella might be tougher on right-handers than he is left-handers because of the screwball. He doesn't throw the screwball against left-handers.
1 strike to Parrish, and a fastball in tight. Lance had a big hit his last time up, a bases-loaded single that drove in 2 runs. Billy Gardner and Johnny Padres looking on. And a foul back into the crowd. One ball, 2 strikes. And he struck him out on a bad pitch. Parrish went for the screwball, and he strikes out.
Tigers get 3 in the inning on 2 hits, a big 3-run homer by Evans. And they lead it 8-1 as we go into the bottom of the 7th. Out on a pop-up. That's one away, and the batter will be Larry Herndon.
The left fielder, Larry Herndon.
Well, a couple people warming up down the right field foul line. Rusty Coons, I believe, will be going in place of Gibson in right field. The other one is Art Allen, youngster who made the ball club. I don't believe he'll be going in.
There's a strike to Herndon. Larry had a single and a run batted in his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Comstock, the pitcher, delivers outside.
I should have said Rod Allen, not Art Allen.
And the pitch. Ooh, he just blew it by him. Garbay's in the on-deck circle. Looks like he's going to bat for Bergman.
Sparky getting the opening day jitters out of everybody. Get him a chance to get in the ball game. Left-hander pitching tomorrow. I mean, the Thursday.
Larry Herndon strikes out. That's out number 2 here in the 8th. Second strikeout for Comstock. Another look at it.
Larry looked like he's looking for the screwball. He threw the fast one right by him.
This kid's only made one bad pitch. It really was not in the strike zone, but Darrell Evans hit a 3-run homer. Garbay will bat for Bergman. Ooh, he went for the screwball. Bergman was 0 for 3 while he was in the game. Fouled out 3 times, so rather rough evening for Dave.
That means Garbay will go into first base.
Well, not necessarily. He could be the designated hitter, could he not? And Evans go to first. Here's a line drive that's going to be caught. We'll find out right quick. Tigers go out 1, 2, 3, nothing across. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Tigers 8, Minnesota 1. The pitch. Foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tigers have 10 hits. Good for 8 runs. Minnesota 5 hits. Good for 1 run. Just missed on the outside. Count goes even at 2-2. This is foul. Well, if this score holds up and the Tigers win, Morris will have beaten Minnesota 10 straight times. The 2-2 pitch. He struck him out, pulled the string on him, and Alan Trammell strikes out. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. The Tigers 8, Minnesota 1.
New pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, making his American League debut, Willie Hernandez. Lopez pitched in the 8th. Now Willie Hernandez here in the 9th inning for the Detroit Tigers. Willie, of course, coming to the Detroit Tigers March 24th from the Phillies with Dave Bergman for Glenn Wilson and John Wockenfuss. Willie Hernandez in 1983 was 9 wins and 4 losses. He appeared in 74 games and had 8 saves, pitched 115 innings and gave up only 109 hits, 32 base on balls, and 93 strikeouts. Willie Hernandez goes right after the hitters.
He'll be facing Herbeck, Brunansky, and Randy Bush here in the 9th inning. Pitch is inside to Herbeck. Big fellow has bounced out twice, flied to center field. Ooh, he had a rip and fouled it back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hernandez did not allow a run until his last outing against the New York Mets on the last day of spring training. Gave up 2 runs.
1 ball, 1 strike as he gets ready to go at Herbeck. Ball hit into deep left center, but Lemon is there. He'll make the grab, and there's 1 out. So Herbeck is out. 1 away in the 9th inning, and the batter will be Tom Brunansky. Tom has struck out twice and popped to first base, all against Jack Morris. There's a strike. Well, Fred Smith has another great book out, 50 Years with the Tigers, and it's very good reading. He brought one by the booth before the game, and Al and I had to thumb through it a little bit. 50 Years with the Tigers by Fred T. Smith.
George Kell, Ernie Harwell, Rick Farrell, and myself on the cover.
Might hurt the sale of it a little bit, but it's there. Here's the strike 2 pitch. Pop fly that's going to be caught by Whitaker. He hit him right on the fist, and Brunansky sent a soft fly ball to second base. It's out number 2, and it's all up to Randy Bush, and he's not going to bat. We're going to get a pinch batter for Randy.
That's number 7, says Wilson. Well, that's what I mean.
Dave Meyer.
I don't know what they give us these press guys for, because none of them go with the numbers on the uniforms.
They've changed it up a bit. Here's a strike to Meyer. He's batting with 2 outs, nobody on. 9th inning, Tigers lead 8-1. And the pitch from Willie Hernandez. Fly ball, center field. Way back, Lemon is there. He has it, and the game's over. So Willie Hernandez comes on. He gets them 1, 2, 3, nothing across. The final score of the game. The Tigers 8, Minnesota 1, and we'll be right back.